what other trade do you think that was hyped this week?
I don't know. Do you have one that you that was in particular to something to do with South Florida and a certain player that wasn't playing anything? Do you know anything about that, George? Did the Miami Heat do something today? This trade deadline?
Yeah, man. So we're both sad this trade deadline, man. We're both sad. But the Miami Heat have traded Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors, and this is the whole full details of the trade. Warriors will receive. It's a 5-team trade, by the way. Warriors will receive Jimmy Butler, 2 second-round picks, and cash from the Miami Heat. The Heat will receive Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, Davon Mitchell from the Raptors, the Toronto Raptors, a 2025 protected first-round pick. Jazz will receive Josh Richardson, KJ Martin, a 2028 second-round pick, a 2031 second-round pick, and cash. The Pistons will receive Lindy Waters III, Dennis Schroeder, a 2031 second-round pick. And the Raptors finally will receive PJ Tucker, 2026 second-round pick, and cash from the Heat. Wow, what a mouthful right there. But the overall main course of this trade is Jimmy Butler going to the Heat and the Heat receiving Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davon Mitchell in return. And honestly, I'm not going to let you go first. I'm going to go first.
Oh, I hope you do.
Dude, it sucks to see Jimmy go,
bring the Heat.
Yeah. It sucks to see Jimmy. It sucks to see Jimmy go, man. He's giving us a lot these last 6 years. 2 NBA Finals, 4 Eastern Conference appearances. He won Eastern Conference Finals MVP in 2023. He was a 2-time All-Star with us, a 3-time All-NBA, a first All-Defense NBA. He scored most playoff points in history with us with 56 points against the Milwaukee Bucks in that first round, where everyone thought that we were going to get ran through, like Diddy, but ran through. And he just put on a great performance. He had that awesome performance against the Los Angeles Lakers in 2020 in the NBA bubble in the NBA Finals with a 45 triple-point triple-double. He did a lot for us, man. Heat fans, the organization, the front office, and it sucks to see him go, man. But he was not happy with us anymore. So you got to ship him off. So where you got to ship him off to, and what we get in return, it's Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and Davon Mitchell. Right? I like Andrew Wiggins. He's definitely a top-tier defender, which obviously fits the Heat culture. He's a player that drops 17 points per game right now, so it could be definitely a good matchup with Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, where Tyler Hero is scoring 22 or 23 points per game, and Bam Adebayo is scoring 19 points per game. So that's another 17 points that can help out our offensive arsenal, which is great, and especially in the starting lineup. I like Kyle Anderson because he's a facilitating forward. He doesn't play awesome defense, but what he brings to the table is energy. If you've watched Kyle Anderson and how he's played with the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Golden State Warriors, and the other teams that he's played for, he brings the energy out there, and you could tell that he's giving 110% whenever he's on the court. Davon Mitchell is one of the guys that I like the most because he's another top-tier defender when it comes to the guard position. And this guy covers people, bro, like white on rice. This guy will not get away from people, and especially guarding the guard position when you're playing against top guards in the East like Donovan Mitchell, Jaylen Brown, Trae Young, and the list goes on and on. We need someone like that. And then we get a 2025 protected first-round pick, which it's this summer coming up, wherever the Warriors land. So hopefully the Warriors play like crap, so we can get like a top 20 pick.
I don't want to see anything negative happen to anybody, but I hope they don't do good.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for the Heat, it was a good players that we got in return for Jimmy. Again, it sucks to see Jimmy go. Top 25 player in the NBA, in my opinion. When you lose a player like that, it does affect the team, but he didn't want to be there. So the pieces that we got in return, bro, I like them a lot, and I think it's going to help us to try to maintain this 4th to 5th to 6th seed in the playoffs. And, hopefully we do work in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's that whole saga, man. I'm glad to see it done with. I'm sure everybody else is as well. You brought it up before. You don't think Pat Riley's going to be around to be the president of the Heat for very much longer. Do you think this changes your mind on anything? What's your stance on this? Did he do the right thing? What's your thoughts on this as a Miami Heat fan? Like, did it work out in your guys' favor or what?
I think he did a good job at the trade deadline. I think we haven't had years like this at the trade deadline, but I still think that he is a little washed. And right now, when we started the show, I saw a news pop up on my phone from the Bleacher Report that Kevin Durant was open to a Miami Heat trade. So if he was open to a Miami Heat trade and the Phoenix Suns wanted Jimmy, what is the whole commotion on why we couldn't get Kevin Durant? I want to know the full details on why we couldn't get Kevin Durant. Because if it just comes down to the Phoenix Suns didn't want to trade Kevin Durant for Jimmy because they wanted to pair him up with Jimmy, all right, cool. But do we really know that? Do we know what happened with everything that has been going on with Pat Riley, that he couldn't bring in pieces for Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat to help us win? Like, I really want to know what really happened because, dude, hearing that Kevin Durant was open to a Miami Heat trade, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think everybody was kind of trying to flirt with the Kevin Durant thing because there was a report that the Mavs were hoping that they could get Kevin Durant to match up with Kyrie and AD, which there was no tangible piece after he already got rid of Luka. So, that's interesting though. I feel like with the Heat with Jimmy, I think they should have done this a little bit earlier. I think that once he started, I feel like the price went down because it was a little bit of both. I think Pat Riley came off as a little bit of smug, old man kind of ish, that you're not going to tell me what to do. And Jimmy handled it the wrong way by acting super immature. But this is Jimmy's MO. This is what he's done almost every single team, pretty much, that he's never left on good terms with almost any team that he's done this with. So that I think they both were a little bit wrong in the situation. I think they both could have got what they wanted if Jimmy, I think, would have probably been a little bit more adult about it, and if Pat Riley would have stopped being so get off my lawn, if you will. But I think that Pat Riley was right in the long run because you can't just start doing what Jimmy did and just being so obnoxious about his stuff. Now, having said that as well, I don't also get I hate you'll hear the player empowerment thing, but I think it's also one of those things that if the player is telling you you're not going to resign me, so get me out of here, I want to move on. This is I'm letting you know so that you guys can get the best for me and it works out for everybody. I think that if they're already telling you that, then why not make the move? Now, I know that you can't start doing that. It's going to open the floodgates. But on the other hand, too, if the players aren't going to play for you, you're not going to win anyway. So what's the difference? Trade for people that want to play for you. There's definitely guys on you could give an overhaul, get more picks, something. But I think that they should have done this trade a little bit earlier to get him out of there because it was just suspending him did nothing. You guys were losing games, and it put you deeper in a hole that you guys could have maybe got a player that would have actually played for you and maybe put you in a better playoff spot.
100%. Well, what do you think about the trade for the Heat, and what do you think about the trade for the – first, talk about the Heat, then jump into the Warriors so I could go after you.
I think the Heat, because the Heat are so well ran as far as coaching and that Heat culture thing seems to be a real deal thing. I think the Heat can make a decent run. I don't think that they're a deep playoff team if they can make the playoffs this year, but it might be for the better. Sometimes restarting and then maybe using some of the pick they got. The lower you go, obviously the better player you get. So you might be able to find a little diamond in the rough, maybe, or something. They already maybe have the rookie of the year. Forgive me, was it Kel Ware, your boy? So they know what they're doing as far as scouting wise. Spoelstra, that was kind of where his stomping grounds was. He started out low and worked his way up. So I think the Heat will make the best out of the trade. As far as the Warriors go, I'm interested to see how this is going to work out. I don't really like it for the Warriors. I don't think it really fits them well. You already had a Jimmy Butler in the Warriors and Draymond, if you will. How is their personalities going to work out? And that's what I want to see, how that's going to the dynamic's going to go, because they're both alpha males in the room. Jimmy can be a little bit more lighthearted, and Draymond, if he's in a great mood, can be. But Draymond is the dog of that team, and that's always been Jimmy pretty much everywhere he's gone. He's at least tried to be that guy. I don't know if his style is going to match with what Steph does as far as the shooting style and all that. That's TBD. I don't know if I like it for the Warriors as much. And then they already re-signed him to a 2-year deal. So they're banking that this is going to work. And the Warriors have another great scouting staff as well. So they know what they're doing as well. I don't know if I like the fit for the Warriors. I think the Heat made out a little bit better in this one. They did lose the name and got in some other players, but I think the players they got in, Wiggins and these other guys, are going to make them a better team in the long run.
I do like the trade for the Warriors. I do think that it kind of is going to be questionable what we're going to see from Jimmy and Draymond and how they're going to be.
That's the only thing I didn't like about it. Those two guys. If Draymond wasn't there, I would love it. I think this would work out really well. I just don't know how that's going to work as far as personality wise.
Yeah, so we're going to see how it's going to work out, but I think it'll work out. I think Jimmy's going to be a team player at this point. He knows, I'm coming in here and I have to prove myself to these guys, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to go out there, do whatever they need me to do. If you need me to facilitate and get Steph Curry open and Steph play the 2 guard, I'll do it. If you need me to be the 3 guard that's going to come in and do some post moves, some layups, some dunks, maybe shoot a 3-point here and there and score and just play amazing defense, I'll come and do that as well. I think he's going to go in there and he's going to be a team player. He's going to do what they need him to do. And when it comes to them for the playoffs and all, I think it will help their chances, man. I think maybe they won't be a contender because, the West is deep. But maybe they could. I think they make playoffs for sure. Maybe they could make the second round, and I think that's where their season will end.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of fun to watch. It's interesting because you have Jimmy and Luka. They're gonna be motivated for different reasons. Luka's gonna be like, you thought I was fat and out of shape and can't be an adult in the room or anything like that. Now go look at me now, kind of thing. So Luka could be completely motivated, which could be scary if that guy is extra motivated now with LeBron on the team. And then you also got Jimmy, who was like, he'll probably play the "they didn't want me" card. They didn't want to pay me, and so he's going to be motivated to prove, hey, I was worth the money. I was doing all this for a certain reason. So it's going to be interesting to watch as the season progresses. We get the All-Star break next week, and that's where honestly NBA really gets exciting. Is after that. But that's going to be very interesting to see how both these guys play it out because both are motivated for different reasons. One, you moved on from me after I was supposed to be your generational piece, and then number 2, you were benching me for not playing hard, not wanting to play. I'm gonna show you how hard I can play. So it's gonna be kind of cool for both of them.